bless you. That's how we started the live stream today.
Is that right?
Yep.
We're live?
We are live, and the world is hearing you
Watching.
sneeze. I'm watching you sneeze. The buyer's journey. Do you really want to work? Travel
Do
again?
you really want to work?
Yeah, I hope.
Says
you
the
do.
workaholic.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, I'm really sad that I don't have my funnel with me today so we can talk about that. But if you guys remember from yesterday, we talked about the marketing funnel, which is an inverted triangle with the top representing awareness, and then the second stage is interest, then desire, then action, and then hopefully after you bring the consumer through the funnel, they will make that action and become a loyal customer that returns to you to continue to bring you business and stay faithful to you, and then bring other people into yet another funnel. And today we're talking about that journey, which is essentially how they get from the awareness to the action, and then you retain them as a loyal customer. So that is, the buyer's journey is what we use to describe their path. And we
Okay.
evaluate their path.
Okay, I know it can be a very long path. As a matter of fact, yesterday someone told me an email that I wrote 2 or 3 years ago has started their buyer's journey towards Shanks.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's great. So they started with the awareness,
Yep.
and becoming aware of what their problem was. And then
Exactly.
they moved through.
So remind us, what are the steps in that funnel? At the very top, it's awareness.
Yep.
And then we have the...
It's AIDA. AIDA.
Ooh. Help us.
Awareness, A. Interest, I. D. Desire.
Ooh.
Or really consideration.
Mhm.
And A. Again, action.
Okay.
And then ding, 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 ding.
Well,
loyalty.
Yeah, well, that is awesome. So this person said that I wrote an email about email deliverability, email not going into spam. And back then it was really just awareness for him.
Hmm.
hmm And because he didn't have a business, or he had one, but he didn't have a strategy where he wanted to reach the masses. Now, a few years later, he's starting up the business to his entire nation. So a few weeks ago, he all of a sudden had renewed interest in what I told him, way back. And that's the interest phase, right?
Mhm.
And then, of course, he sends his first emails and they go to spam. So now he has a desire to really have this service or this solution.
Mhm.
And no later than yesterday, he told me, well, I gotta have you look at this. And that's where the action part happens, right? And what really I want to bring home here is that it can take a long while, multiple touch points. This is a person that I networked with and am active with in multiple associations. So it doesn't happen overnight, but if you have a funnel that really is included in your entire lifestyle, anything from doing lives to joining associations to writing newsletters to having a website, everything is part of the funnel where you basically create that AIDA journey for your customers, or your audience, I should say. That is the way to go.
Yeah, and it's also really interesting because not everyone takes the same path. Not every buyer takes the same path. But what we do as marketers, with the data that we get, with looking at those various touch points or interactions, finding out, did they find out about your product through a referral, through someone else that told them? Did they click on a social media advertisement? Did they, hear about you in the newsletter? Like, you figure out the path that a buyer will take. That is the buyer's journey. And then obviously the one most taken is the one that we want to put out there the most because it's the most successful. But it's a very iterative approach and it's constantly changing. Not everyone has the same entry or exit point. And yeah, sometimes they go in and come out and go back in and all of that. But we really do the calculations, especially this logical guy over here.
Uh-huh.
What are your favorite what are your favorite analytics to look at when you're assessing a customer's journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the basics of everything analytics online is a free tool called Google Analytics. It's a code that we enter into the website. And what it gives us is demographics. So we know where's the person from, where do they live, and also what was the source that led them to the website. Was it social media? Was it search? Was it paid search? Was it a paid advertisement? Was it a direct hit? And once we know that, we can also see, well, how long did they stay on the website? What did they look at? And based on that, we can already make a lot of decisions. If we want to take it a little bit further, we can define events on the website and basically put people in buckets based on the events that happened on the website. That can be done with Google Analytics. It can be done with Facebook. It can be done with LinkedIn, with Twitter too, I believe. And you can combine all that information and be that scary big brother that nobody wants.
It's so funny because there are people that will teach you it's not possible to conceivably map out every single touch point. But I don't know. I think I disagree. This guy is super into that. But yeah, it's really cool. So as we develop a digital marketing strategy, we're going to be cataloging that journey, and refining it, figuring out the best thing. So you might find out 6 months into, say, a radio show, this doesn't really work. And that's okay because it's part of the process, or maybe it works really well and we're going to repeat that. But the whole point is that we get to look at the data and see.
All right, Andrea, I think we threw a lot of technical and interesting stuff at people today. Do you have anything else on your magical sheet that you want to communicate?
Understanding your customer's journey helps you to deliver the right message at the right time. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all we're trying to do. Look at that journey, get it right, get it tight.
Awesome. We'll see you again tomorrow at the Daily Intention.
Tomorrow?
Well, maybe not tomorrow.
Busy day tomorrow.
Busy day. We're flying. We're flying to Washington, D.C.
I wish. It's going to be cold there.
All right. Bye, folks.